In this fourth chapter of the London system, you're going to be learning how to play against this Queen's Indian defense. So let's get started. So d4, they go knight f6, bishop f4, e6, we go e3, then now they go b6. So this is a characteristic of the Queen's Indian defense. They want to go bishop e7, bishop e7, and castle and kingside. We go knight f3, they go bishop e7, we go bishop e3, they go bishop e7, and we go h3. The purpose is to avoid this knight h5, and we can just escape with a bishop and h2. Then they go castle, we go knight b2, they go c5. This pawn structure for black is called the Hedgehog formation with c5, b6, a7, e6, and d7. So this opening sort of structure can come from a lot of openings, from white and black. So for white, the English opening, so c4, and also b3, 1 b3. And also, very bizarrely, 1 e3 is also going to be transposing to this hedgehog line after c4, b3. So then they go knight c6, typical move. We go castling. There's two moves that black can do that are main. So the d5 and d6 was more natural, more solid. So let's go d5 first. Let's look at that. We go queen e2. They go bishop d6, attacking f4. So you're probably thinking, okay, we have to move back. But no, not so fast. We're going to go rook e1. Allow him to take on f4. So don't be scared. So they can do take on f4 or do the more natural and solid knight e7. Let's see what happens if they take on f4. We'll take back. They can go queen e6, attacking the pawn. So this move is looking a little bit weird, but queen e3 is the best defense. This is going to be fine. They go knight e7 to go to knight f5, attacking our queen. But now we have all the rights to go g4. No knight f5 at all. So in this case, they go knight e6, attacking this way. But we have knight e5 now. So they can't take the knight because of a fork on e5 with f takes e5. So they can't do that. And they can go rook c8 to try to say, oh, okay, I'll take this pawn. If you take back, I have the c file to myself. So now we're going to play knight e2 to f3. So black is going to probably play knight e4, saying, okay, the knight moves away from the defense of e4. I'll take it and take this square. Now, we're going to not worry about that. So let's just play knight g6, a6, g6, and now we're going to play rook a d1. So they can take on d4. We'll take back with knight, and that'll be really very good position for white. So the rook's on a semi-open file. In the middle, in the center, we're going to play f3, f knight c5, bishop c2, and white stand a lot better. So in this position, let's say if they go with the better route with knight e7 instead of taking f4. So in this case, I recommend you play rook a d1 like we usually do in the other line. So now they're going to do knight e6, attacking the bishop and f4. Now you're probably thinking what to do. So now I'm going to say, okay, I'll consult Magnus Carlsen. In his game against Evgeny Tomaszewski, he's a really strong, powerful GM from Russia, and I have a model game from him. And he plays this following line. Bishop takes g6, first of all. A takes g6, and bishop d6. Queen d6, and now knight e5, and the game was won by Magnus Carlsen. So now going back, way back to this one. Instead of d5, like we see, we're going to play the more solid d6 this time. So in this case, we're going to be playing queen e2, shocker, the same exact line. So d5 doesn't matter, queen e2. d6 doesn't matter, queen e2. So it's easier for the London to play the same way. Doesn't matter what black does. Queen e2 is going to be coming up next. So now black plays usually rook e8. This is the most popular line. So now we're going to do a cool move, bishop h2. Looks probably like an alien, but the problem is we're just anticipating that they're going to be playing the most popular line, bishop f8 and e5. So we're going to be prepared right away. Don't want to waste tempos. So now we're going to go e4. No problem. So they're going to go e5. Then now we don't have to go back there. So if the bishop is in f4, we have to go back to h2 miserably. So it's like, oh, black to move again. Now we're going to play d5, attack the knight. So we're going to be going back to b8 to go to d7 instead of going to knight e7, which will be miserable. So knight b8 to go to d7 was more productive. So now we play g4. This is a blockading method about just controlling f5. There's no g6, f5 because the 3 pieces attacking this f5 square, and we own this one. So they go knight d7, knight bd7 rather, and we go knight e1. The plan is to go knight e2 to e3, bishop d3, h4. Easy plans. There you go, h6 to block g5. So knight g2. They go a6 maybe sometimes to go to b5 to get more space, but we don't allow that at all. a4. They go g6. We go knight e3. They go bishop g7, and we go bishop e3. So the thing is, if they go knight a7, we can go h4. This is the purpose of why we do this at all. To just play h4. There's no queen takes h4.